get your phone out, share it on your Morris page.
Oh shit, I can't share anything. I don't have my phone's over there.
Yeah, you can have your phone. It's actually good to have your
Are
phone.
we live? What is up, everybody? Super excited today. Got my main man, Reagan, Big Play Weiss in the house again.
What's up?
You know who's behind the curtain over there.
The Wizard.
That is the Wizard of Pods.
The Wizard of Pods.
Jesse Guthrie, the man himself, JLG Productions.
That's right.
And in studio today, we have the local legend, the rags to riches story.
Wow.
James Morris of Morris Tree Service. Welcome to the studio, buddy. Glad to have you.
I'd like to just say that I'm broke. Whatever he just said is just not true. Okay?
Come on, man. Come on. You got to run with it.
No, man. Life is good, though, for
yes,
sure.
sir.
Rags
yes,
to riches
blessed,
fits.
right?
Yes,
absolutely.
Blessed and highly favored.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna switch the. We're gonna switch it up a little bit how we've been running the podcast lately. So we talk a lot of business, a lot of marketing, a lot of stuff like that. Today we're going to get a little personal. It's going to be a personal touch to this one.
We're getting deep.
G-rated, people, for all you weirdos out there. G-rated.
So no lip biting.
None of that.
Biting. Okay.
None of that. So James, we got to know your story. I mean, you put yourself out there on social media for everybody, an open book, man of faith, right? Not just in God, but in himself. He believes in his convictions and his decisions. And we want to talk a little bit about that. We want to talk to you about like what it is that drives you. Why do you put yourself out there the way you do? I mean, it's amazing. Your story is amazing. Jesse and I were talking about that before you guys even came in today. And, Jesse's like, man, this guy's amazing. Like absolutely, like 100% transparent, just puts it out there for everybody. And not only that, like you're willing to help anybody that reaches out to you, the proverbial shirt off your back, So what drives you, bud?
Well, there's multiple factors, right? Let's start with me personally, kind of like growing up a little bit. I watched my father, who was literally a fifth grade dropout, and he ran businesses and he did things, but they were always hustles, right? So I was always around somebody hustling and figuring out how to make money and provide for their family, right? Like I don't really remember him having a whole lot of jobs where they were 9 to 5,
right?
So with that being said, like I had a lot of influence in my life, right? And my faith seems to keep growing because of the experiences I go through in my life.
Yeah, not amazing.
There's no way I can look back at my life and go, there's not a great creator for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's not somebody in charge, an alpha, omega. Man, you want to get real personal. I got a story for you real quick talking about faith.
Okay.
So this is years and years ago, before anyone ever knew who Morris was. Again, it was just hustle, way means to find money, get money, pay my bills, do whatever. And I'm doing this work for this little old lady. And she invites me in and she's writing me the check, and I'll never forget it. We're sitting at, your counter's right here, the sink, and then you usually have the windows sometimes that looks out, right? And I'm sitting there, she's next to me, and she's writing the check. And she just stops and pauses. And I'm like, and my first reaction was like, oh crap, she forgot why I'm in her house. Maybe she was like she was that old, right? Yeah. She drops her pen, she looks up at me and just stares. And she's like, you have angels all around you.
Nice.
Yes,
sir. Amen to that, right?
And so like I've always believed that God is looking out for me, right? And self-will is a great thing, but also a scary thing, right? And like we can go down wrong paths,
Right.
not directed correctly. Fortunately for me, I started to get some paths and people to put paths in my way the older I got. Wasn't so much they're younger, but definitely older. And like, I look back at all those experiences that I had, and I should be dead or in prison. You know,
Yep. Good man above was watching out
I
for you,
can't
bro.
explain it.
Yep. That's the plan. Everybody's plan is
I
different,
just
right?
can't
Everybody's path
explain
is
it.
different.
As far as
Oh,
putting
here we
my-
go. I touched the mic.
Dang it.
I'm going to touch this mic and it's going to go out the window.
There
There
you
we
go.
go. Sorry.
So as far as putting myself out there,
Yeah. I love seeing your stories and your reels and everything, you know?
what if we could change one person?
Yep.
What if they can look at me and go, that 10th grade dropout, addiction, everything in his life that he's went through, homeless, like why can't I do that?
Right.
Why not me? And like, that's the biggest thing when I look at people today, like the people that I look up to, like,
Mhm.
why not me? You know, who are you sitting with?
Right.
What conversations are you having? Why not me? You
That's
know?
good stuff, bro. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, usually
And
I'm
that's-
the loud, one and gonna jump in on this, but I will say
Yeah.
this. Even this morning, dude, I'm flipping through. I wake up, go through my stuff,
Mhm.
go through my devotional now, which is fantastic.
You're welcome.
I also, there's also a men's group. We go through some things, discussions,
Yep.
have conversations with clients, et cetera, this, that, and the other. But then I just take a moment of just going through your social media, see what's going on. And today is the anniversary of Justin McPadden and Tiffany McPadden's marriage.
Oh,
Shout out.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
Happy anniversary, guys.
And then the reason why I bring this up,
Oh, here
we
we
touched the mic again.
I hate my microphone.
You got it? Okay. And, there you go. Good job. Stop touching it, Chris.
I can't help it. I told you I'm buying new microphones, so
Right.
I don't
Yeah, we
have
got
to
it.
bump
Exactly.
into it all the
So,
time.
Watch this. Don't put your hand. What do I do with my hands?
I gotta sit here like this.
But anyway, back to the story. I took a moment to watch their video because I never watched their wedding video. I wasn't really a part of their life
Right.
then, or yours, quite frankly. We were just starting to learn each other back then and so forth. But I watched how they segmented your speech, bro. And you were sitting there and you're reading, and then they B-rolled video while your speech was rolling. And you've always been an emotional person. You've always given the nod of respect to the people that are due the nod of respect, but you have always, since I've seen your stuff and then started watching where you were, you've always given it to God. And that's important to me, to give the glory to God. You know that, I know that.
Yep.
And I've seen that forever. So that has been consistent in your life, and that has been authentic in your life. And no one could ever take that away from you. So that's why when I see you speak with true emotion.
Yep.
You're a
It's
very,
coming from his heart,
very
for sure.
emotional person. You're probably one of the most emotional friends that I have. But that's great, because we need those people in our lives.
You're probably the most emotional friend I have, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to
I'm the most
state that they
non-emotional
are
person.
both looking at each other in the eye when they say that. The weirdest thing just happened on this podcast.
We go way back, bro.
Yeah.
I think I felt electricity through his pinky.
So let me talk about that real quick.
Yeah, go
with
ahead.
the emotions, because I do wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's also
Mhm.
it helps motivate me at times, but because of my struggles, I'm very empathetic and compassionate.
Mhm.
And it's funny because people that don't know me, that'll see a post, right?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
think it's BS, or I'm braggadocious, or this or that.
Yeah.
If
Great
you
word.
feel that way about me, you have never sat down in a
Yeah.
conversation.
We've had
with
this.
me.
We had the
You know,
same
like
type
last
of
week.
conversation last week when Theo was on. You know. Hey Jess, are we live?
Yeah. Oh no, we're live.
Yeah.
Actually, let's
First
bring
of
that
all,
up really
yeah.
quick.
All right. Yeah. Before we do that,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk about this picture. There's nobody else out there.
I was in the room.
There's nobody else out there that loves trees and removing trees and fixing trees and doing everything you could possibly think of with trees besides him. Dude, I die. I almost wrecked when I saw that billboard
It
the
was
first
fun.
time.
That was
It
fun.
was it's such a money billboard, man.
It's also a symbolic message, right? Like if you look, the tree's dead, and nobody would want it, right? And like that's it for me. Like I want to help people that feel dead inside.
Okay.
Like I want to love people that don't feel lovable.
The underlying meaning to the
Right.
Yeah,
advertising.
there's
There we go.
always
Chris is like, oh, okay. I just
Okay.
thought it was a picture for marketing, but there's always a deep message.
Yeah, I like it. That's even better.
No, it's good. I'm not even laughing about it. I truly believe that, James. I believe that when you say that.
I mean, I would have known that.
Yep.
Now I do. It's
I was
even
actually
cooler.
I was in the room. I was in the jail video studio
It's
when
so
when
funny,
that was
though.
taken.
I would like to say that we may or may not have kissed me and that. Like, I don't know if we could talk about that here, but it might have happened. I don't know. There was some weird moments. I know that.
Jesse, do we have anyone live watching to ask questions? Because we want to
Yeah.
ask. We want to bring that up. To see
Nobody's live. Did you guys share everything? Start tagging doing
I
at
shared.
everyone.
I shared.
At everyone in the
We
hub.
also have a guest in the studio today. He's behind the scenes.
Sure.
Matt from DCI is here. DCI. He's also here as well.
DJ
So-
what? DJ what?
DCI Construction. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah, man.
Well, he'll be on the show sooner or later. Anyway, all right. Let's have a conversation.
Oh, you
Go
know what
ahead.
else bothers me
Oh, go
about
ahead.
people that don't really get to know me? They
It's
think that
their
the things that I'm saying are condescending. Like I could literally went out to lunch with somebody one day, right?
Yeah.
And the waitress was our waiter. I'm sorry, was a gentleman. Cleaned up after us. I said,
Mhm.
"Man, I want to thank you for your service and thank you for cleaning up after us. I really appreciate it." The person with me was like, "Don't do that." I'm like, "Don't do what?"
Yeah, bull crap.
They're like,
That's the
"You're
person
being
that-
condescending." I'm like, "No, I'm literally being genuine.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
thank you." Like, I think it's the small things in life. Like, you think about it, you go through McDonald's. Yeah, we all talk smack about McDonald's. They messed up my order, but those people are actually vital to get your day going by faster, right? Like, it seems small and insignificant, but if we could just take a little bit of time out to thank the people
Yep.
that stop always looking above to thank.
Mhm.
You know, like what's wrong with thanking the little guy? Because the little people take so much off our plates, you know, and people think it's just not authentic, but it is.
Yep.
It really is. I really, truly, I'm last of a dying breed. I really want people to win.
Yeah.
Like, and win more than me. I want you to do better in life than me, so I have something to chase. I'm a chaser. I'm a dream chaser. I literally have it. This is what I do. I chase my dreams. And I go full in. I'm either all in or I'm all out. I'm not a dimming light switch. I'm
Mhm.
either on or off. And like, I need people to do better than me in my life. Like, I need something to look to. I need the inspirational story that maybe you see in me. Like, I need that too.
Mhm.
I'm not
All right.
Superman, you know, like I need stuff to keep me going throughout the day, you know? So can we just say that up?
Jen Verge, no matter JV,
Going you.
no matter what you do, someone will always have something negative to say. Keep doing you.
Yep.
And that is true. Miss Verge, thank you for that very much.
It's a good thing when you do you, and then the people around you speak for you louder than anybody else could speak against you.
Mm.
That's a testament to your character.
And you know, there's another thing about character is when they say it, don't play into it. Don't
Yeah.
give them any, like,
Yeah,
you're irrelevant. You say it all the time. You're irrelevant. You don't pay my bills. Matter of fact, I just did the video content the other day. Literally sat on the phone with Scott Loveland. And he was like, I got booted, blah, blah, blah. And we were talking about video content. And he's like, I see all your content. And people call me all the time saying that you're just putting video content out there because you're ego driven. And I'm like, what?
yeah.
No, because I have proof facts, because someone taught me that video content works,
Right.
that it supports me, that I can put out a message and I can put out my true self. Like, I think we take for granted what social media really is.
You said the word ego driven. I want to touch on that really quick because at the same time, when you are in business and you're a business owner and you have ego driven salespeople, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Mm.
Okay. Because the ego driven salesperson is going to work 10 times harder to prove themselves. So there's a fine line between having ego and being boastful and braggadocious, like, hey,
Right.
look at my car, look at my boat, look at my house, look at this, versus look at my accolades and
Yeah,
look how
so there's
hard I
no-
work to get the sale.
Right. There's
and I'd
nothing,
appreciate
there's
that.
nothing wrong with being proud of
Nope.
yourself and your work ethic
And
your-
celebrating
your
your successes.
right. There's nothing wrong with that. Just
I-
don't take your trophy and put it on somebody else's head.
Right.
Right.
I think sometimes people forget this is my first time living too.
I hear you there.
You know what
Excellent.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and that goes for a lot of people. Imagine how much compassion and empathy we can
Yep.
have for somebody
Right.
if we just remember this is their first time living too.
Yep.
Like we talk about, like I just turned 40, right?
Damn.
You just turned 40
Sorry,
once, right?
young
I've never been here before.
Right.
Like that's literally our lives.
Mhm.
We have never been here before.
Right.
It's constant learning, constant evolving.
Never gonna be there
constantly
again
changing.
But that's why actually I had a conversation this morning with Matt and Tyler Harvey about that's why it's our responsibility as that older generation to tell the younger generation of where we have been,
Mhm.
so they don't go through those same trials and tribulations. Although it's good for them to go through those trials and tribulations because you have to learn, but there are some things they could avoid. And by simply listening to us and listening to the older generation, it's a good thing because we're helping them get that extra step in life a lot quicker.
Yeah. So I tell a lot of people the things that I've been through,
Right.
so that if they're in that same experience, they'll be able to recognize it and make a better decision, a faster decision, right? Not necessarily like, hey, do this, don't do this, but just be aware of your situation and what you're dealing with and what everybody around you is dealing with at the time, so that, you know, you can make the correct decision for yourself and those around you.
So I joined this Tree Masterminds group, right? And they brought me on last night. And what we're doing is we're teaching a lot of the newer guys, right? Like, I need someone to teach me. And like I was telling them last night, you know, this is where I'm at today, and it took me this long to do it. What if I can get you there in half the time?
Right.
The learning from my mistakes.
See, yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the key. Like, and here's the deal. And it's almost great because I want my industry to evolve to such a point where we finally start to get the money we're worth. You know, you look at general contractors, you know, or whatever, kitchen remodels, all these people, like, those are big money tickets, and people don't, you know, get, oh, okay. Oh, you want 70 grand to redo my kitchen? Okay. Don't blink an eye. But you get a tree guy in you know, 100 feet in the air with his life on the lines, the power lines, the pull cages, and they're like, you want me to spend $5 grand?
Right.
Bob down the street said he'd do it for $3.
Yeah.
You know, so
but then you're teaching the value at that point.
Right.
Okay.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. But as far as our industry alone, if they can start to know their worth and understand what they're capable of getting, because entrepreneurship is risk versus reward. And there's not a more dangerous job in the world than tree service. More tree service guys die per year than police officers, more than firefighters, more than ambulance workers. Like, that says something about how dangerous this job is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we need to elevate ourselves because people aren't making it home to their families in this career.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy. Doesn't that sound crazy?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you'd be like, nah, and people will fact check that, and I believe you. But
do it.
Yeah, no, but that's crazy. Like, to think of it that way. Like, I never thought of it that way. Like, oh, it's a tree guy. He's gonna go out and cut some trees, blah blah. But that's the discussion of value. And James, I'm sorry, man. 46% of America is depressed, and that includes business owners and like you say, the small people. And at the end of the day, it's value, and people don't value themselves, and that's why, whether you're in business or not, that's our goal, is to teach the value that everyone has.
I think that's a whole nother subject, and I'm telling you, I'm willing to have that open dialogue, because I think us as, I'm going to say men because I can speak for men. I don't know about women. Maybe they go through it. I don't know. That I'm just speaking for men that I talk to. I think the depression that happens here is, especially as a business owner, because everybody thinks you should have it together. You want to know why I have compassion and empathy? Because sometimes I can't stand what I look like in the mirror. Sometimes I'm my own worst critic.
Yep.
Some days I feel like the Robin Williams.
Right.
Want everybody else around you to smile and laugh, and on the inside you're dying and you don't know how to tell anybody. If you're a man, listen to this, speak up, tell your friends, talk to your people, tell your wives, do whatever you got to do, because this thing is this revolving thing that just keeps secrets in our lives, and it wants to bury me. It wants to bury me some days. And like, when I can get it from here to here to here in conversation, and the strongest and best thing we can ever tell somebody is, yeah, me too, man.
Yep.
I understand.
Yep.
Like, think about that. Like, I could go to a lone island by myself, because Facebook, right? Because we don't put out negativity. We put out the positivity, right? Because nobody wants to look at the negativity. So you have to constantly put this positive. On the inside, you're like this, and you're like, dude, if they only knew. If they only knew it was so hard to make the video to tell you to go love yourself today, because maybe today I'm dying.
Right.
Like, that's a whole category we could get into. And I would love to. The man of the household is so valuable, in the positions we hold and the leadership that comes with it. We need to start talking about men's mental health. We are number one suicidal, man.
Yep.
And we don't talk about it because it's shut up. Nobody cares. Work harder. Bullshit.
That's the generation
but I care. So if you're going through it
timestamp
today,
that part.
yes. So
It's live. It doesn't matter.
if
Yeah,
you're
well, we got to
listening
put it on
this,
YouTube later.
if you're listening to this and you're dying inside,
Yeah, reach
and
out.
you want a man to talk to, please go to my DMs. I will stop whatever I'm doing, and we can have a conversation that might save your life.
There you go.
You know, like it matters, man. Like I had a mental breakdown this year. Right? I wasn't very open with it, but I'm gonna talk about it because again, I can't tell you to talk about your mental health and stuff like that and not be willing to be vulnerable. Right? Some things have been going on in my life, and I told you I'm feeling like this. I finally go to get checked out. I said, man, I need some professional assistance. And I go to get checked out, and they wanted to Baker act me. I'm like, and thank God they knew who I was. Right? They're like, listen, we're going to give you an opportunity. You can either call someone you love that will take you to Trinity Hospital right now and get a psych evaluation, or I have to call the police and you have to leave in handcuffs. I said, I'll take, first option. Let me get my wife on the phone. Hold up, babe.
Door number one.
Listen. And, we had to go do that. And it's time that I start looking at it. It's time.
I'll give you credit for being very transparent about that story. I didn't think you were going to say that because I know that was a private, situation for you. And the truth is, James, is that may or may not affect your business. It might not. I think you're highly favored. I think you're anointed. I think it's okay to not be okay sometimes. And
called being human.
I'm proud of you, dude. It's the human factor. Yeah, it's the human factor, and I'm proud of you for saying that. I didn't think that was going to come up today, but at the end of the day, you pulled through it. You and I had private conversations on it, and you're a better person because of it.
So there was a dude on Facebook, and we all know him. He posted something like that about how everybody just constantly posts positivity, like positive, like makes, and it's not true. It's like not the truth of the real world, right? Yeah, we want to look at puppies and kittens all day long, right? Because it gives us that, that dopamine rush for 5 seconds, and then guess what? Right back to the real world, right? It distracts you from your emotions and your thoughts and your feelings. So can totally understand that.
But devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
There's so much negative. That's why I'm one of those people that feel responsible for doing the opposite of what the norm is, and the norm is the negative, because all the people that gravitate to the negativity because misery loves company. And I refuse that philosophy. I refuse that. I don't want to be a part of that. And that's why I'm always going to surround myself with the right people. Do I have stressors? Yes. Do you have stressors? But I'm not going to talk about it, because at the end of the day, like you said before, business owners are held to a higher standard. And because we are held to a higher standard, and we are people within our community and so forth and so on, we are not allowed to have problems. And we're not allowed to have problems because if you can't keep your personal life together, why in the hell would I hire you for my business or to do something at my house and so forth and so on? That's real conversation. But the truth is, we're human. We need to humanize ourselves. Right. Everything is not perfect. Your business isn't perfect. Your books, I'm not talking specifically about you, but your books aren't perfect. This isn't perfect. That's not perfect. We're still learning.
Somebody's going to hire you for what service you provide,
right?
Not who you are. Not technically, they're not hiring James to come in and, emotionally remove a tree, right? You know what I mean? They're hiring him because his company does a phenomenal freaking job, right? And when all is said and done, it looks like the tree wasn't even there.
Well,
right?
I would like to, let's talk about that stigma.
Go ahead.
Not having people thinking you don't have it together because you are going through some things upstairs. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm pretty sure everybody hears that voice in their head. Everybody talks to themselves. Think about it. Don't do anything right now, but say the word apple in your head.
Apple.
No.
Apple of my eye.
In my head.
In your head.
Got it.
Big apple.
Said it. Okay.
You heard it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a conscience.
Yeah.
Everybody has a voice in there. When are we going to start talking about things that are uncomfortable, that aren't really taboo? They're not taboo anymore. Like, this is 2023. What are we really talking about that is taboo?
James, I'm not crazy. Just the voice in my head is.
That part. That part. But everybody's got it. Everybody has that voice. How many times are you sitting at home and yet completely ask a question and answer it too?
Yeah, in a minute.
All the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not crazy. Like, even mental health doesn't make you crazy. You know what I mean? Like, to face struggles and not know how to talk about it doesn't make you crazy. It means you don't have the tools yet to deal with it. Imagine if we could start getting men the tools they need. Like this is a roadmap of, hey, this is what it looks like. X, Y, Z. If you do these, you will get better. And it might be for the moment, it might be for the minute, it might be for a month, it might be for the year.
Right. Step in the right direction.
Every time it comes back, if you did X, Y, Z, if we found a solution to the problem, and I ain't talking about popping pills.
Good.
I ain't talking about that.
Right.
I'm talking about real solutions that identifies the problems and gets to the core result. What if we could establish that for men? What about the next generation of men that are coming up? What if
we could establish that in our youth and it carries with us for the rest of our lives? That's the problem. We're not prepared. We're not preparing our children. We were certainly not prepared.
No,
we were raised by parents that said, under the
work
carpet,
harder,
suck it up,
man up.
Yep. It is what it is. Yep. And that's how we were raised. Everyone
There's no
in
crying
this room,
in baseball.
Right,
I watched my dad cry one time. When my mother died. That was it.
First time I saw my
Only
father.
time I ever seen it.
Think about it. First time I saw my father cry, his mother died. I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
That's the first time I saw I didn't. Oh, it was an unfamiliar sound. It was at her eulogy, like saying, and then I heard an unfamiliar noise from my father, and the whole family's in the front row. And I looked to my right, and I saw my father weeping for the first time in my life. Changed me because he's human. I'm like, he's human.
It's the John Wayne effect.
Right. And at the end of the day, I said this yesterday, I was in a women's group last week, guys.
Some people probably don't even know who John Wayne is.
I just want to say that I think that's fitting. Go ahead.
It was very nice. I had my nails done and my hair done. Anyway, so I went to this.
Did you get a sandwich?
Yes, I did. I had a salad, darn it. I had a salad. So I was in this women's group last week, and everyone was talking
probably
about
like profound, for that one.
Right, whatever. They were talking about profound women in their lives and so forth and so on. And it was nice to see and hear them all supporting each other, et cetera, and so on. But
that's important.
For 100%. But at the end of the day, my thought process was, we're talking about mindset. And why aren't we teaching mindset to youth? Why is there not a class in elementary school, middle school, and high school?
There's a reason for
teaching children about because we're being conditioned to be
exactly.
employees.
And there's the same.
We're conditioned to be damn employees.
Well, it's the same reason that they don't teach actual financial management. Coming through.
They want us to be dependent.
School. Right.
Yeah, well, why aren't they going through like more tax breaks and how to do taxes or how to go for a loan for homes, right? Like
how to manage a freaking credit card.
That's one level,
you know what I mean?
That's one level. Why aren't we talking about emotion? How to handle emotion?
Right.
How to handle when someone's coming at you? How to handle conflict? Why is that not being taught?
Do you think that's a topic for school, or do you think that's in home?
Do you remember the Pythagorean theorem?
No.
Come on, A squared plus B squared.
You're talking to me? I don't remember anything from high school.
You know what I mean, though? How many times have you used that in your life?
Yeah.
It's not for me.
It's for flooring guys.
Yeah. I use an app for that now. But anyway, so here's, and I'm not dogging education. We all need math, arithmetic, science.
It just needs to be the correct education.
But we need to be well-rounded. And when I see statistically the mental health situation in our friggin' nation, and now, I hate to say it, but I'm like the old man now, like, oh, there's some old man, some old adults talk about, but this is real talk. And it's true, but if we were to teach these stuff at the younger generation, we wouldn't have our mental health issues.
Wondering what that mothball smell was.
Son of a bitch. And we wouldn't have the situation, and we wouldn't have 46% depression rate. I guarantee it.
Well, and again, this is my opinion, and I'm a nobody, just an opinion. I think the amount of stress we have put on ourselves as a nation, keeping up with the Joneses, not prioritizing.
Go for it, bro.
I'm eating a cookie. I'm so stressed. I'm stress eating right now.
Stress eating. This is happening a lot.
Damn it.
But
let me get a piece of that cookie, bro.
Keystone cookie. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Oreos are even better. They're like these.
I'm sorry. I interrupted.
Now I have a brain for it.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Can we rewind the tape? Can we see what I just saw?
Started looking up. We're talking about cookies. She's got these white chocolate dipped Oreos that have red sugar sprinkles on it, man.
I'm aware. God, we were talking about teaching in the class. Is it for home? Is it for home or for school? I said it's for both. And
then I went to, I think a lot of our stress comes into keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Right. Like inflation all the time with it not keeping up, like trying to keep that persona. And I don't know about you, but I'd like to think I finally hit middle class in my life. And
I'm going to hit you
that
hard.
Middle class.
I'm about to hit you.
That's a whole category to keep up with.
Sir.
I'm about to hit you.
Middle class isn't the old school middle class anymore.
It's different.
Let me tell you why I'm about to hit you. Because I know there is a demographic that's going to watch this later. And you just said keeping up with the Joneses and doing this and doing that. Yeah. The truth is, a lot of us, especially in our late 30s, early 40s, are finding newfound success.
Mhm.
We are entering into a different era of our lives of success and what's deemed successful. Okay. And then with success comes a little bit more money, and with a little bit more money comes a little bit more things that you have. So to those people,
We like things.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong
Love
with
things.
things. There's nothing wrong with things. But to those people, that's who I want you to hit right now. Those people that say, well, James is talking, he's driving a 6-figure car, and he has this, that equipment, and he's going on these vacations. What do you say to that?
If you
Hustle.
don't like what you see, then don't look. If you like it, work harder.
Yeah.
I work my butt off right
Yeah,
here, man.
absolutely.
And again, this is my first time living too.
Right.
And let's just clarify, like,
Go
because
ahead.
I swear to God, my kids called me one day and says, Dad, serious question. I said, what's up, buddy? He says, are you a millionaire? I just started laughing. I'm like, what?
Right.
Dude, again, we're going to go back to middle class.
Yeah.
I just broke middle class for the first time in my life. I was hood and poor for a long time. I don't know what you want from me.
We'll give you some credit, upper middle class. Okay.
Thank you. Like, I put everything I can into my business. Blood, sweat, tears. I look at my schedule yesterday. I actually got to sleep at 7 o'clock. By 7 o'clock to 10:30 at night, it's constantly something for self-improvement, growth, or business.
Yep.
This is
how it's supposed to be.
This is why me and my wife struggle, because my mind goes and it's got to keep improving, keep going, and she's like, "Can't you just come to bed?
Right.
Can't we just get a little family time?"
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm like, dude, I got to call 2 more mentors. I got to get the game plan for tomorrow. I got to go through this. I got to read this book. I got to do whatever, X, Y, Z. And it's this list, man. And like, so these things real quick.
Yeah.
So these things that you see that I have, let's talk about that. Like, I looked the other day, I'm $400,000 in debt. Could you believe somebody gave me $400,000? Silly. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Like, all these things that
He's sharing a lot, bro.
That's all right.
Because these are real life situations.
Yeah,
and if you're
yeah,
not willing to talk about
Right.
it, then I don't know what we maybe I just don't click. I don't know. But like, the point to that was all these things that you think I have are debt. We are a nation of debt. We keep accumulating debt. That's in our personal lives too. Like, I could, even if I did go buy a Lambo with cash out, that's still my business.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You earn that right.
If you see it and you like it, go get you some. If you see it, you don't like it, turn the page.
Right. Move on.
Turn the page. Maybe I'm not your cup of tea, but I work really hard in my life to finally have some things.
Yep.
And that's okay to do. It's okay to want nice things. Like, I don't understand how in this world we live in social media, where you're allowed to put your life on media, social media, that you get ridiculed.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, before social media, there was
reality TV.
Right.
That's the thing.
I did a speech this morning. I did a video this morning, actually just driving to one of my appointments, and I was talking about how awesome it is that we are in a world that we can convey our message immediately. Because before social media, you would have to go publish an article in a newspaper. You either have to write a book, right? You have to go to a public broadcasting station and go at your public access channel if you wanted to have some kind of message like this out here. And now we have this at our fingertips to go out and say that, right? So with exposure becomes ridicule, right? With success comes scrutiny, right? And that's
Criticism,
fine.
yeah.
I'm going to continue to do what I do. You're going to continue. We're all going to continue in this room to do what we do. You come at us, that's fine. We ignore it. We move forward.
You know how much I care.
We laugh. We continue to. Theo said it perfectly. He's like, what? He goes, bro. He goes, I'm in the restaurant, and people are like, Reagan's doing this, Reagan's doing that, and Theo goes, is what he's doing affecting your life in any way? Then why are you so concerned with it?
Right.
Right. If it's not affecting you, move on. But the problem is, back to the 46%, negative people want to see negative things happen. And they'd like to see giants fall.
It's easier for other people to look outside of themselves and point than it is to be introspective.
That part. You know what's one word I wish we used more as people? Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Congrats. You know how many times I'll post something?
Yeah.
Oh, you got that. Hey, I think you misspelled congratulations. You should retype it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, if I don't have nothing nice to say about it, I keep it scrolling. It ain't my business. It ain't my life. Like, and then I try to make sure, especially in the world today, like, make sure you're liking people's posts and making them feel encouraged, because that is the life we're living in.
For some reason,
it literally
we can't do that.
takes 2 seconds to do this. let's get more vulnerable, right? My Facebook time's probably 68 hours a day. Don't want to talk about it, but okay? I do a whole lot of scrolling.
Oh my gosh.
Right? I'm getting super personal here, people. And but you go through those times and it goes, how hard was it to go, man? You showed a picture of your kids. Hard it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just got.
I love that stuff,
house.
man.
Hard it.
He shared something. We have a private group, and he shared something in a private group this
apparently
morning, and he said, it was his
I'm not in that circle.
It was, you don't want to be in that circle, trust me.
Was it drama?
Yeah. So that's good stuff. But no, it's really the one, like your wife's in it. But anyway, you don't want to be in it. So bottom line is he posted like his daily, like kind of like a routine of like what he did. So I looked, other people could look at it and say, hey, that dude's got it easy street. If you really look at his schedule, if you really look at his schedule, it's easy street. But my comment back to him, and if you remember, I said, wow, James, if you think about it, you put yourself in a position to model your company to where you don't have to be involved anymore, because that's a part of success.
That's one of the hardest things for an entrepreneur to do is
step away,
to work on the company,
right,
not in it.
Right.
And that, that's something that we're working on right now, as far as, because we're hiring LOs left and right.
That's
that's the thing.
That's Chris's problem. That's his wife's problem.
Yeah.
It's quality people in their industry, educated people, licensed people, smart people,
right. Driven. It's the ones that have to,
ego driven because they're in sales. Like it's
the thing is, and in our industry, you have order takers and you have people that are actually going out there and making it happen.
Yep.
And there's a huge disparity in the numbers between those two types of people. So we're hiring left and right. We're bringing on quality LOs now, but in order for us to work on the business, we have to have that. We want to be able to give cruises away to our employees, like all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we want that to happen, but for her, she has to be able to step away because she's an originator and also works on the business.
Your wife,
yeah,
bless her. I love you, Lindsay. Show her that wall.
She can hear us. She hears us. I think there's holes in there.
Bottom line is she's a woman that likes control, and at the end of the day,
well, she should. It's her company.
It's her company.
Yeah.
Thank you. You beat me to it. It's her company, and it's okay. But at the end of the day, there is a candle that's being burnt, and that wick's going down.
Yeah.
And you can only maintain that for so long.
And I tell her that.
Yes.
And one of the things to touch on that you were talking about earlier, where your wife's like, "Can you just come to bed? Can we have some family time?" So something that we have done that has helped us with that is we actually schedule the family time. Because like my day starts at 5:30 in the morning and it doesn't end until the kids are in bed at the end of the night. And it is everything in between. So there's never time for her. There are days I don't see her until it's bedtime. So we schedule time. So I did this really cool thing. Joined I'm going to give a little shout out. Cooper's Hawks Wine Club down in Tampa. Right.
Okay.
So we joined the wine club. So one day a month, like we go down there, cool. we schedule it out. Like I got the babysitter set up,
Nice.
It's her and I time. And we go down there for a couple hours and we do this wine sampling and they have an amazing restaurant and the ambiance is nice. Like everything's nice and it's relaxing and it's like her and I connectivity time. You know what I mean? So that might help with you if you you schedule it out. You know what I mean?
We have officially made Tuesday night date night.
Yeah, there you go.
We go have some tacos. And
that's it.
We eat some dinner, and that's the time.
And you have to do that
stuff on the weekends, but those aren't always guaranteed. Right?
That'll help with the mental side of it too, because stress levels, when you own your own business, go through the roof, like through the freaking roof. You're dealing with 15 different things. Lindsay's dealing with all kinds of crap. I'm dealing with crap, and then at the end of the night, it's like,
so
gotta relax and get ready for tomorrow.
At some of my stresses last year, right? And I always, again, I told you I'm always working on me. What do I got to do? And I got to look back and I watch these people that run businesses and successful ones, right?
Yeah.
And like the key has always been delegation. Delegating.
You have to trust your employees, right? And that's a hard thing for business owners to do initially.
What about building the process so it's easy to follow?
Right.
Yep. I mean, I guess there's different strategies in employees. Are you looking for someone that can take you to the next level, or are you looking for someone that can fulfill your process?
Or
right?
just maintain your process.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They fit all roles, and I'm not, like one of the things that I learned as a manager in the executive world was there are subordinates. That's just how it's structured, and that's how it has to be. People are subordinates. You can't, you know, and I don't want to dehumanize, the fact that you have employees, but you have to be a boss. And when you're a boss, it's black and white, right? And it's non-emotional.
I wrap my whole life around business, right? And this thing is my baby, right? Always for self, but that's a different story. But I wrap my life around this, right? My question to you guys is like, when you do have some downtime and you're not working on business, do you guys feel guilty? Because I feel guilty sometimes.
That's your inner demon, buddy.
Yeah,
that's like, what am I doing? I could be focusing here, and like
that's where your favorite word, gratitude, needs to come and play for yourself, because you put yourself in a position not to do anything.
Yeah,
and if you put yourself in that position not to do anything, that's a success check on your life.
I mean, another way to handle that too is just make a voice note for yourself real quick. Be like, oh, I had this really cool idea, blah, 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 and then I'll come back to it. You know what I mean? Just like for me, scheduling has helped tremendously. Like where there's not like, and I mean like scheduling to the hour, everything that I have to do, it keeps me focused. Whereas, like I have this issue with like, I'm studying for tests and everything right now for something else. And if I don't sit down and turn off all the monitors and turn my stupid phone off, I'm going off on these tangents, and I come back an hour later and I'm still on question 2, or, still reading the same paragraph. Like everything pulls me in these different directions. So I have to schedule time, and I have to stick to it, like, or else I'm gone. I'm running circles around in my head.
It's funny you say that, because this thing's like the biggest gift and the biggest curse we ever had.
Exactly.
Like, I'm trying to read a book this morning, and my squirrel instinct, as soon as this thing goes off, ding, what is that? Could be something important.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes it could be a distraction,
it can wait,
but it's also the greatest invention to ever be invented. Like, literally, we have $1 million device in our hand. Like, we could easily make $1 million just by holding this thing. It's crazy to me.
Or several.
Right?
So you said the notes, right?
Yeah.
So this is my note life, right? Everything. If I ever lost this, I'd be crushed. Although it's in the cloud, so thank you, Steve Jobs. But at the end of the day, like you said, I have this thing about filling time. And when I like to fill time, I like to fill time with ideas. And what I'm blessed with is a creative mind in regards to how to point other people in the right direction, or how to convey their brand and so forth. So if you look at it, like if I just look at this, this is even here. I just scrolled really quick, 10/30/21, escapism. People like to detach. Listen to this. This is something I wrote. Escapism. People like to detach themselves from their harsh reality and attach themselves to a different world. I don't see anything wrong with this as long as you give them the positive world to attach to. I've said this before and many times before. People want to believe in someone or something that they see good in themselves. Chew on that. At the end of the day, that's why I'm always trying to make my circle smaller and smaller and smaller with the right people around me. This is the best tool I've ever had in my entire life.
And that's all it is.
But
it's
a better tool is James Morris and Chris Webber and Matt and Jesse and Lindsay. People need to understand that they need to bring connectivity back to the human factor and press the flesh. And that's something when I talked on this morning. You press the flesh and then go here and tell everyone how you're pressing the flesh. So you can actually disconnect a little bit and have others talk about you, so where you don't have to keep talking about yourself all the time. You know what I mean? That's a big part of it. I wanted to touch on this. We talked about it for 2 seconds because you give a lot. I've given a lot. We've all given a lot, right? We've all had our fair share of handing and helping people in the world. Is there an expiration date? Is there an expiration date on your generosity? And I would like to have that open discussion.
2 things. I think if there's an expiration date on it, then you did it for the wrong intention.
Yeah, it's already measured.
And then when I give the ability to stand in front of my Lord one day and go, "You're a trusted servant."
Yeah.
And there's a part, and again, I can't Bible thump or anything like that, but there's a part in the Bible where it talks about it, like, if you open your home, I will open mine for you.
Right.
Right. And I have always had people that stay with me. My house is always open. It's who we are. My dad did it when I grew up. We do it, right? But I don't think we're necessarily talking about that type of giving, but that's a form of giving.
Is there
giving with the expectations is
right.
manipulation.
Right.
Like we need to start
I
having
know that.
conversation.
Yeah, I know.
It's giving with the
very familiar.
expectation of something, receiving something in return, which is not what the Lord would want. That's not what my heart
Right.
does. So
let's take
expiration.
Let's take that out of it without giving with expectation. Let's say now we're just giving for the fact of giving to help someone, and you're not expecting anything back. But what if that person becomes abusive in regards to the ask?
You have to be able to identify that, number one, right?
Predators
and number two,
come in all forms.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely,
all forms.
And they're manipulative as can be.
But we call them predators.
Yeah,
because it's a form of taking. That something is not yours. If that is you, you are a predator, and you should probably look at that in your life. I know when you say predator, and they only think of one way, but a predator comes in many forms. And if somebody is always taking and taking and taking from you, the verse I hate is people I never talk to. Hey, can I borrow $500?
Right.
I mean, can we start the conversation off? Hey, James, how you doing today, buddy?
Right.
Right.
You might have a better chance. I don't know. Please do not DM me right now. I don't have 500 for
How about that 50?
Hit him
Can I
up
borrow
real quick.
50 really quick, bro? I just need that 50.
I think it's our job and our duties to pay attention to self-control of if somebody's taking advantage of us or not. Again, I'll go back to that conscious thinking, that word, the apple that you could hear. We all hear a voice. Self-will will determine which way we want to go with that.
Right.
And look at the behaviors, look at the patterns. How do they treat you? Is it somebody that really needs help? And I told the mastermind group about like the best way to really help, honestly, is get involved with these organizations. Do something. Like charities, like give it to someone that you let them do it.
It's a good lead in.
Right? Like not letting your right hand or your left hand know what your right hand's doing, right? Like give to them with your left hand and then they control what they're doing with it. And it's none of your right hand's business. Can I give abundantly and be a trusted servant? If I could do those things, it doesn't matter what happens with the right hand. Like you're leaving that to someone else. But personal level, it's really got to be like, dude, what's the situation? Can I help? And do you feel it?
I think, all right. So let's, don't tell me people haven't asked you for money, because I know that's the case. And as you've had more exposure, it's been more abundant in conversation, right? And I know we've all had that kind of situation. So at the end of the day, if someone does something from you or you do something for someone and then that person expects something continually, I think that's a problem. That is a problem. That's a toxicity.
That's not somebody that needs help, though. That's not somebody that genuinely
can do it too.
Right. So
this isn't just a person-to-person thing. This isn't always about, hey, can I borrow $50, $100, or can I get whatever those situations are? Can you help me with rent, whatever? Like businesses are guilty of this shit stuff too. Sorry. Yeah. Like, how many times I've never dealt with your business and you're first to see if I could be on your vending list? How about we start relationships?
Right.
How about maybe you like my page once? I don't know. How about you support me, share something, talk good about me?
Right.
There's some reason why so as a vendor, do you just want me as a vendor or do you believe in what I do? If you believe in what I do, then yes, I want to be a vendor for what you're doing. If you don't believe in me and you just need a money gap, I'm not your guy. Stay out of my inbox.
I'm going to bring something up. I'm not going to say names, but check this out. Let's say we help an organization. And they get an abundance of money one year, right? And they loved us and they shouted our name from the rooftops, right? And all of a sudden they stopped that conversation, Chris. No more, James. No more. Oh, although their event's coming back up. I noticed a like on my page. I noticed this. Don't think we're not paying attention to who you are and what you're doing. And those cancerous people, you're out of my life. You're out of your life. You have to remove that because they're just there just for that moment, just to take. There's so many takers in this world, man. And you gotta, I'm sorry, there's gotta be a fine line where you push it away.
You have to identify it first.
That's the key. This all the time in private to you, like our conversations, like when I'm dead and gone and I'm on my casket, and I hope the words they say is he gave more than he took.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. For sure.
That's what I want. He was a trusted servant and he gave more than he took.
I want to give to the right people and for the authentic relationship that I have with them, not just because, like you said, to fill the gap, to fill the void that they need some money.
You give from your heart, right?
Right.
I think one of the biggest lessons in my life was when people actually, and this has to do with addiction. When you go down that road, people tend to cut you off because you deserve to be cut off.
Right.
Sometimes it takes a long time. sometimes I think we forget as society that it's okay to let someone struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Like my struggles gave me the ambition to make sure I get up every day and go to work and provide and make a better life. Like being broke, homeless, barely able to pay for food, like couldn't afford Christmas gifts, like those struggles is why I'm willing to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and work till 11 o'clock at night if I need to. Like those struggles will build character that is unmatched.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. There's a time and place for help, but there's also a time and place to let people be right where they're at and see what they can do. Because the more we do this to people and give, we're putting them in a box. And what we're really saying is, well, I don't think you're going to be able to figure it out here. Mm-hmm. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You know, it's okay to say, hey, how else can I help you? Maybe it's not with money or, you know, filling your banks, but like how else?
Showing you the way.
That like allow people that struggle. It's okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about the struggle. Like, you know, you hear them sad stories, whole families burnt down house, you know, in the middle.
I'm not talking about that either. No.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about, hey man, I can't get a job. I'm hurt. I'm down and low right now. Okay. Keep grinding. What do you need?
It's repeated offenders. There's no other way to say it. It's repeated offenders, man. Like you're just like you gave and they come back. You gave and they come back. Like, well, you gave me 18,000 last year. You gave me 14, whatever the number is. You gave me this. You gave me that. Well, right. So I helped you. Like, but now because I'm not helping you, I'm the bad guy.
What do they say? When you cut someone off, when you cut people off in your life, you'll find out who the real Judas is. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Yeah. Cut someone off and watch. Next thing you know, they're talking bad about you, maybe suing you, whatever that looks like, new. Right? Yeah. That's something I'm new to. I'm like, oh, this is what happens when you get successful. I guess people like to sue. You know? So it just happens.
That is what happens.
It is what happens. All right, Chris. Well,
we're not done yet. Okay. We've got a few more things that we need to talk about. First of all, we need to talk about Home Run Derby.
Yes, we do need to talk about that.
Sir. April 8th, we are Hub Life Charities.
I would like
is hosting the Home Run Derby.
Yes.
At Starkey Park Ranch.
I want to say
Starkey Ranch Park, whatever it's called.
I want to say something. Whatever it's called.
Beautiful facility.
It is a beautiful thing, but this is what I'm pulling up the advertisement so I can speak, in an articulate manner. This is what I want to talk about, which I think is pretty cool, Christopher. Is that I call him Christopher.
Only my mom and my wife.
So sorry about that. So a couple of years ago, Chris comes to me with, hey man, West Pasco Little League, looking for help.
So a lot of the things that happen is just because of
conversation, right? Yeah. We're having a conversation, and he's like, "Hey, can we do some kind of fundraiser?
Let's think about
it." So we sat down, brainstormed. Like, bro, I go, bro, right? I go, bro, Home Run Derby. He's like, yes. I say, Home Run Derby. I talked to him. I talked to his wife. I talked to you. I talked to people. We do a Home Run Derby, and 3 months later, and raise $27,000. Put roofs on Right, during COVID.
Epic.
During COVID, right? During COVID, Hub Life Charities comes together. This is through COVID. We had people.
This is what started Hub Life Charities, I think, right? Huboween, and then
we had to like come together and say, okay, we need an organization. We're taking in money.
Right.
Huboween's it was the second event that definitely started it. We're literally taking people's temperature, making sure they're wearing masks. Like, it was that moment. Crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. At the same time, like, people going, we're going to protest your event. Why? Right? Remember all that crap. Anyway, who cares? That's funny.
Go for it.
That's a joke. All right. So anyway.
Protest kids all you want.
Right. So right.
You'll win.
So we go through that, make a successful event, make a successful time out of it. And then, we took a year off hiatus because we did something else. And then here we are again. So Dave Luke approaches us this time. He's like, would you guys be, considering doing Home Run Derby again? This time for Starkey, Starkey, I can't say it either. Starkey District,
Starkey Ranch,
Starkey Little
District
League, whatever.
Park. Yeah,
right. So
like 15 names.
The reason why we're doing this is because this is a new league, right? So there's this big misconception. Well, why are we giving kids money that live in Starkey? Like that's out there. So I just want to quell that situation. Yes, it's kids that live in Starkey and they have a great life. And we know their CDD fees are like 10 grand a month or whatever. But there's also families from outside of that area that are also in that league. And that's who we're trying to help.
You have to separate the two entities,
please,
though.
The
Starkey Ranch, the neighborhood.
Yes, it's just a neighborhood.
It doesn't have an affiliation with the park itself.
It's just a public park.
Pasco Parks and Rec is the department that manages the park. So the money from the people that are, they're paying their CDDs and all that stuff isn't going into the baseball fields and the
Correct.
soccer fields and lacrosse fields and everything that's over there. It's managed and maintained by Parks and Rec.
I mean, here's a great idea. If people don't like that it's going to Starkey, start a new thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Come up with a great idea.
Do your own thing.
Come up with an idea.
We say it all the
Who do you wanna
time.
Help?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, we
Well,
say it all the time.
I'll touch on that.
People are always like, I want to get involved. How do I do it?
Yeah.
And they're asking in the hub, like, come to the meetings.
They
Yeah.
ask,
You know what I mean?
Don't ever show.
Right.
Exactly.
They
That's
show
the thing.
once and
That's why we have to surround ourselves with men and women of action.
Right.
That's who we are. That's why we get a lot of flack, because we are men and women of action. And I would put us against anything, anywhere, any team,
Hey, can you
because we make things
Can you pull up a
happen.
calendar on your
Yes.
phone real
Yeah,
quick
yeah.
for me?
I'd like to
wait,
second
wait.
that. We do got something special, man.
Yeah, man.
Like really, really special.
What's up, buddy? What about
March. Go to March for me, like the whole month.
yes, sir. I go to March. Hold on. Yeah, what's up?
March 25th.
Can I just
What's
say
that?
I'm
That
grateful
Saturday,
that Chris
March
has not
25th?
touched
What's
his
March
mic
25th?
in at least 30 minutes. You're
I know.
doing really well.
I'm trying-
sir.
I am
You're doing
consciously-
You figured out what to do with your hands.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Amazing.
I want to know
Here,
what March
here.
25th is. Let's do March 25th.
Jeep event. It's on the books, bro.
You get it?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
sir.
So this is a Keystone Jeep event? at
Keystone Jeep
Starkey?
event.
Nice.
Yes,
At
sir.
Starkey Market
The
again?
second one. Yep.
So they had a Jeep event last year, which was really awesome.
Very
All these
successful.
Jeep, the first event,
Yep.
a bunch of Jeep showed up. They're doing it again, and that was also, remember, we sat down.
Yep.
What can we do for community?
Let's make it
do
happen.
Let's do a Jeep event. Boom, it happened.
Yep.
So that's
Okay.
cool. So I'm glad we have that too.
Yep.
So, but back to the home run derby. I'm not gonna go back to the advertising.
I know
Excuse me.
Jesse's back there going, well, that is going to screw up the baseball schedule.
All right, here we go. Home Run Derby sponsorship levels. We're still looking for a presenting sponsor. It's only 5 G's to be in a very affluent neighborhood and to get around a lot of people. Then we have a $3,000 home run sponsor. Then we have a triple sponsor, which is $1,000. Then we have a double sponsor, which is only $500. Then you can get a banner out there for $250 or a yard sign only for $50. At the end of the day, we just need community members to come together so we can buy equipment. You guys have any idea how much baseballs are? Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
And
I-
you got 5-star
I
academies
coach a travel
involved.
team with the Wizard of Pods back there.
So you got Wizard of Pods
Please give
coming
him
in.
a hat,
Is it-
wizard hat,
So
please.
who's coming in? So who's your academy coming in to help out?
Oh, well, we have our team. We have our 8U Chop team.
That's
Jesse's
Chops,
son.
so Chops
Michael-
involved.
Yep.
Perfect.
And we have 5-Star Baseball Academy
Love
is
it.
bringing their entire organization. Yep.
Nice.
Pat Schuster was on the podcast, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
And he's committed to bringing in a ton of kids, bring in a velocity, so people can throw, pitching, see how fast they can throw.
Yep.
He's doing all kinds of amazing stuff.
So Jesse, I don't know if you could put the link for the Home Run Derby event somehow in there. And anyway,
He's like, damn, put me on a spot.
I know I put you on the spot. Anyway, I think that's a big event that's coming up, and I think the whole community should be a part of that in some which way or form. Super excited about that. Kids can come out. It's also for girls softball league to come out to hit home runs as well. It's an adult league. It's
Baseball
from-
and softball.
We got food trucks coming, golf cart event, 12 to 9 p.m.
It's a
on the
long
8th of
day.
April. It's going to be a
Of
long
nothing
day.
but
It's gonna be
fun.
awesome.
Question for you.
Shoot, brother.
Why should companies get involved? Like what does it do? What does getting involved in these events do for? Because again, when I was doing, I didn't know
Go
clue
ahead.
what it would do. So I would love to hear. I know, but I want to hear you because you say it much better than me.
Relationships are currency.
Yep.
Relationships are currency. Being a part of the youth, being a part of the future of our community is everything. I think a lot of businesses don't understand that, don't understand the value of that. It's connecting with their parents, connecting with the people that buy your product. It's connecting with other businesses, and the power of
Community
connectivity.
involvement.
The power of connectivity and the power of community is everything. And
It
once
is.
they learn that, once businesses learn that, that's when you elevate your business and yourself. That make sense?
Now, on top of that, do you know what an amazing baseball community we have and softball community? I mean, Mitchell High School has put 4 major league players
That's
out.
crazy.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like legit 15-year careers.
Yep.
River
Really?
Ridge. Yeah. Like
Yep.
what we have in this community, it is a mecca for besides the Dominican, where
Yeah.
all the best players come to the Dominican, I guess.
Yep.
But like the programs that we have in this area are top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Like the high school coaches have amazing relationships with all the D1 schools, with the major league scouts. It's huge. And, we're going to be 5-Stars bringing in some of their top players that you're going to see kids, 16 to 17, 18 years old hitting 400, 450 foot bombs.
Mhm.
I mean, these kids are going D1
Right, so-
and being drafted.
You remember that time I told you I want everyone to win?
Yeah.
I don't know about them because I can't hit the ball out of the infield.
I will say this. I wanted to add to your question. It's also the conversation of omnipresent. And people don't understand what omnipresent is. And being omnipresent is being everywhere, but being everywhere authentically that you want to be there and you want to be involved. I know you get it. I'm proud to say you get it. I'm proud to call you friend. I'm proud. I was telling him
He tells me this stuff, just so you know. He's not just saying this because you're here. He tells me.
Dude, there's only certain people I allow in my home, in my business, around my children.
Well, I had to sneak in the back door.
And I will tell you, like, that circle gets smaller and smaller and smaller. But I had to build that relationship with you because you were skeptical of me and I was skeptical of you.
I actually built it. I would actually drive around his block and just be like, hey, I can see you. This is your house. When are you going to let me in? I would stalk him and call him.
I know he really loved me when he let me drive his car.
Nice.
And broke the muffler. But we won't talk about that. So anyway, Home Run Derby, that's going to be an awesome event. And I really hope everyone's involved with that. We're going to be signing. There's
April 8th, Saturday, April 8th.
Yeah, but there's a sign-up sheet. There's all that fun stuff. So come out, swing a ball, buy some baseballs. And we're selling T-shirts, and Jorge Ramirez is in charge of that now with Authentic Barbering. He's put it all together. It's going to be an awesome event. You need to be a part of it. If you're not, you're missing out.
You definitely will be missing out.
Yep. Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
Well, I mean, we could talk about, our buddy Kevin Johnson. He puts on his fishing invitational every single year out of Hooters.
When is that happening? Do you know?
It's the same day.
Shut up.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about it.
Oh my God, Kevin. All right, Johnson family. We had no idea. Yep. No, but that's a certain demographic, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out
how the frig did that happen.
I know, right? We were talking to Kevin about it again the other night. We were just like,
oh, dude, that was not on purpose at all. How did that? Oh, that's a failure on our part. We're not seeing the events going around.
Yeah,
it is.
Sorry, Kev.
Damn, he doesn't care. Dude,
I'm gonna.
His whole thing's gonna be full of fishermen and anglers.
I have to figure out how I can fish that and go to the Home Run Derby. That's like.
Well, what time you start the fishing?
The tournament's what do you say? 7 to 4.
You're just come to the night thing.
Yeah.
You come at night.
Listen,
you'll be tired.
This is a win-win. The moms can take all the kids to the thing, and the dad gets to go fishing. This is a win-win that is falling on the same day.
You want to go fishing?
Okay, so I have a confession to make.
You don't fish? Why?
He
lives in Florida.
I don't.
He couldn't catch fish in a bait shop.
That's true. The only fishing I like to do is I'll go on like a charter. Mm-hmm. But please don't ever call me like, hey, dude, do you want to go to the bridge and just fish off the pier? No, I don't. I don't want to stand in one spot and do this. Really.
Fishing off the boat's way better.
That's not me.
So, all right. Well, shout out to Kevin Johnson and his beautiful wife. They're beautiful people.
We love you.
I'm sorry.
Kids
I did
are
not intend on that. It doesn't matter. Their event's going to be full anyway.
So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there also. Johnson Invitational is also April 8th. It's out of Hooters up in Port Richey. It's I think it's the 20th or 21st annual. I mean, it is a long running fishing tournament.
Right.
They give a lot of money back to the community. The Johnsons are amazing people.
Yep.
I tried to get him to come in for the podcast. He's like, oh man, I don't know about being on a camera, and I don't know. I said,
wait, there's cameras in here?
Oh yeah, just a couple of them.
Don't look around.
No,
don't look over your shoulder.
Everything's gonna be
all right.
And never stare into the camera.
April 8th. Cool stuff going on. You got
Johnson Invitational,
Home Run Derby,
charity.
Either way,
it's gonna be a fun day.
Yep.
I hope I can make it to the fishing tournament. I'm not gonna lie.
I think
I'm so like. So
just be both. Go fishing in the morning and then come back at night.
I'm like, Kev, we got the Home Run Derby going on April 8th. He's like,
what?
Bro, that's when my tournament is. I was like,
no idea.
Why?
Anyway, all right. Anyway, we're done. Now we're done.
Are we done, Jesse?
Yeah,
do you have anything you want to talk about, buddy? No. Shall we,
Jesse? I'm gonna personally get you a hat, Jesse.
Right.
A wizard hat.
So, the guy that's sitting over there in the chair, should we make him come on?
I think we should. I think you should make an appearance.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's here.
I think we should.
You're gonna have to do a mic check on the.
Get over here real quick.
DJ DCI, step into the
DCI. DCI. All right, so Matt, really quick.
Yep. Throw your headphones on, bro.
We're gonna give you a minute. So he's gonna come on sooner or later on the Keystone Keys podcast, but. Matt, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What are you doing? You can't even see his face. Look at.
I'll do it. I'm really bad at this.
No, how y'all doing? This is Matthew. I'm the owner of DCI.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear the DCI voice?
What is DCI?
Yeah, go ahead. Say what a DCI is, dude.
Deloitte Construction Inc.
Okay.
I still
and
have
what do you guys
a hard
do?
time saying his last
Contracting. What is it?
Yeah, we're fully licensed builder, but we try to focus on remodeling.
Okay.
So with kitchens, bath, floorings, anything inside your house.
So I gotta give him credit because
Okay.
I've been on his job sites.
Yeah.
I paid attention to his job sites. As you know, I've been in construction for a
Yeah,
very long
yeah.
time. Very clean job site. Guys are well groomed. Guys are paying
Professional, huh?
attention. Very professional. Like laser sights on everything, and it's nice to see. So he does good work. I will give him props for that
All right.
for sure.
You're
Yep.
vouching, huh?
Yep, I will.
All right. There you
I'll
go.
vouch for him. I will vouch for his work because the work that I've seen on point.
Top notch.
Yep.
Excellent.
I would like to say, like, we haven't got a whole lot of chance to know each other, but I'm really starting to enjoy your posts and the way you speak. Like,
I appreciate that. Thank
it's
you.
inspirational. I like it. I'm like, oh, let me find
And
out
direct,
this guy has this whole
and
other
direct,
side to him. I didn't know.
and very
Right.
direct.
Very direct.
And I am grateful for directness because that's something I lacked in my life and my career for a very long time, where passive aggressiveness is.
You were extremely passive aggressive.
And now I'm like, here it comes the train, 43 train. It killed me though. Did it not kill me?
It was horrible.
It was horrible.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. So this guy, not passive aggressive.
That definitely is a gift from my father.
Good for you.
They've been really good posts. I like it.
Yeah, right. All right, awesome.
All right.
Well,
guys.
now we're done. I
Now,
guess.
yes. Now we can wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Yep.
Still somebody forgot to turn their thing off. Hour and 5 minutes, huh? That's
That
not
was
bad.
long. It
That's
was
not
long.
bad.
And people will go back and watch it later. Don't forget, Keystone Keys, Keystone Mortgage, 813-710-4801, 813-710-4801. That is Lindsay Weber, loan officer, mortgage
Principal
broker,
broker and owner. Yep.
Princess Weber or Queen Weber
I would
to
say
King
queen.
Weber.
Yeah, I
to
would
King.
say queen.
The king and queen.
It's a patriarchy. And
The princesses are the children, and he's got a little prince as well.
yeah.
So, all right, we're done. Wrapping it up.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. Later,
Thank
bro.
you.
See ya.
Later. Yep.